There's nothing church folk love more than worshiping together and learning about the Lord. They pull a fine and parking in the lot, seeing students put together all the things they watch. Better show up before the seats get loaded. Uh-oh, before we start to go, the students are here just to help and discuss about the things that we believe in and where you can find us at
New Hope and New Hope Church, New Hope and College in Oregon. The Dream Releasers, New Hope West, Eugene, Oregon Church. Couldn't we have just seen this online? It's not as good as being there. Why do we come before the service time? 'Cause it's best to be prepared. But look around, there's transformation happening at New Hope. New Hope, watching God work. It's bad enough that the world has gone awry. Violent riots in the square. It's bad enough that we had to stay inside.
Taylin has been my student since her freshman year, and she is a junior now. And it's been fun to watch her grow because I knew her before she came here as an influencer on social media. A little over a year ago, she came to me with this idea. She and I love musicals, first of all, and we both love Hamilton. And she came and she says, okay, I got this idea for this parody for when we open a New Hope West, that we could, do this Hamilton parody.
I had so much fun working on that project, but it was one thing to have my leaders and one thing to have my peers watch it versus a bunch of people that I really didn't know, and some people that I did life with. But I was nervous from even before we showed it for Easter.
God's vision on my brain. You see a revolution, I see a revelation. Now listen to God's declaration. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not for disaster. And every weekend when you're tuning in, we'll be hearing a new word from my favorite pastor. Work! Look around, and how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around, and how lucky we are.
I don't think I would have been able to accomplish what I did up until this point unless I had come here. Just from getting the skills that I have to the people that I had to work with it, I don't think any of it would have happened if it wasn't for this place and if it wasn't for God moving through this place. I was not expecting it to become what it did, and I say that in the greatest of ways.
Look around, and how lucky we are to be alive right now. History is happening at NHCC, and we just happen to be loving God and people around the world. Loving God and people around the world. New Hope and New Hope Church, New Hope and College in Oregon. The Dream Releasers. We're looking for God and work. Hey, loving God and people around the world. Loving God and people.
Hello and welcome. My name is Uilani and I am here at New Hope Church and College, a private 4-year institution with a lab church located on a breathtaking 36-acre campus in Eugene, Oregon. Home to 249 lakes and only 1 hour from both the Oregon coast and the Cascade Mountains, Eugene is a great place for students who love the outdoors. Eugene also has a vibrant arts and sports community as well, so there's definitely something for everyone here. On this hill overlooking Eugene, New Hope Church and College stands as a beacon of light to the city below, as well as being a place where students can come to develop their character, learn leadership and ministry skills, and pursue their God-given dreams. In fact, the Dream Releaser statue serves as a reminder to students that God has placed a dream in their hearts of what they can be for Him. Whatever that dream is, we want to come alongside these students and help them pursue those dreams with excellence and integrity, whether it's in full-time ministry or in the marketplace. For the next few moments, I'd like to invite you to take a journey with us as we give you a glimpse into life at New Hope.
Here at New Hope, we link up the church and the college so that it's actually called New Hope Church and College, because the primary goal of New Hope is to train up young men and women for leadership in the church, the bride of Christ. And so we want to make sure that we have a simulator, we have a lab church, and which has always been my heart from day one, to develop a lab church where you just don't disciple students, you give them the practicum. And so the church undergirds the college. They give the students a place to serve, to practice their gift, to teach, but at the same time it gives students scholarships and inspiration and encouragement. But the college also serves the church in that young people are there to be servants, to be ushers, greeters, to run technical equipment, to do music, to do worship. So it really is symbiotic.
From the get-go, what I really was passionate about as far as New Hope Christian College was the fact that it wasn't just a 4-year learning institution where you just learn in the classroom, but the two things that really made my heart beat faster about this place is, one, the cross-training aspect, is that the fact that if you're a drama major, you are actually learning how to do music stuff, and you're learning how to do tech stuff, and vice versa. The students being able to learn in the classroom, but then also getting to cross-train in other areas so that they can be more well-rounded, because most churches don't just need a drama director or a tech director. They need somebody who can really oversee a worship arts program or a creative arts program. And so having people get that experience was number one for me. Secondly, I love the fact that we have the opportunity for students to learn not just in the classroom, but to actually practically work those things out in real life settings, whether it be through a lab church experience or through their chapels or musicals or whatever we were doing, students getting to work hands-on.
They get to step right in, they get to lead on sound, on video, they get to lead worship, they get to be part of building teams. They get to step in and practically put in place what they're learning in the classroom, what they're learning in devotions, what they're learning in chapel. Everything in their experience on campus as a college student, they get to have an outlet to really practically see what that looks like.
I don't know like a lot of places that would put a trainee like in an advanced position almost, but this is definitely a place where it's like you don't have to have the skills, you don't have to have the capabilities, you just have to show that you're like interested in it, and immediately like they're gonna put you into a position like that. Like
just the idea of like actually doing it and putting your hands to work. I think that for me, like I learn better that way. So from actually doing it, actually making the mistakes, learning from the mistakes, and then I think that like improves you and gets you like to the next level for sure.
I came here not knowing anything about audio engineering, not even knowing how to run Apple products, just really no idea about tech. I came here and then the guy who was in my position before me said, "Hey Grant, I need you to do something for me real quick in the studio." And around here we just have that yes heart, so I'm like, okay, not knowing exactly what I'm going to do. And then he never really let me leave. So since then I've just been plugged in, learning along the way, and now I'm the head of the studio. I would have never had known that I like had this gifting and that I had this passion if the opportunity wasn't presented to me, and if somebody didn't say and see this passion within me and just help me refine it.
Recently, they did a survey on colleges that teach, and they found that of the teaching when a student graduates, less than 5% is actually hands-on application. The rest is classroom. Whereas here at New Hope, it's probably 50-50 in that the students, when they graduate from this college, they'll have between 1,400 and 1,600 hours of practicum. That makes all the difference in the world.
Those years in time of like sitting in class, you can learn all the things that you need to get the requirements out of the way, but unless you really do it and you experience it and you try it hands-on, you'll never really know. And here, like Keanu was saying, once you're interested, they'll put you in it like, hey, we're gonna put you right in the fire, this is exactly what you'll be doing, and like that's an experience you can't, like I said, you can't really like get anywhere else.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me here was just getting to grow our capacity, going past our quitting points, the points where we're like, I can't do this anymore, I'm done, like count me out, you guys can finish, and you really just grow that integrity and that push to want to do more than you even think you can do, because it's by the strength of God that we get to do ministry, that we get to do what we do here. And it's not just the things that we learn in the classroom, although knowledge is really important and we push for that. It's the things that we get to learn out of the classroom. It's getting to actually do the work, be in the ministry before we even get to actually be in the ministry. So you get to grow and put into action what you learn in the classroom.
I think it was my sophomore year that they did Heavenly Blues. And I was jamming in the back. That's crazy, you know, like Pastor Wayne, like on his harmonica, like in his element, just like going into it, you know? And so then when they asked for me to do Heavenly Blues with him, I was like, me? You want me? Like, who am I? You know, little old me?
Well, I'm on my way to heaven. I ain't got no time to sing the blues. I said I'm on my way to heaven. I ain't got no time to sing the blues. 'Cause since Jesus came into my life, I've got nothing but good news. Well, I'm on my way to heaven.
And so I went and I was reading through the lyrics, listening to the track, and I was just like, okay, so if we're gonna do this justice, we gotta do it right, you know? So like I was practicing and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go because the man is just, he's talented, you know? So I didn't wanna like, hey, how about you just take the whole song, you know? Like you got it, like I'll just be in the back. Like I'll be a BGV, a background vocalist, you know what I'm saying?
Fills my heart with gladness, washed away my sins, gave me joy and peace and praise God. I'm born again. Oh, my way to heaven, ain't got no time.
When we actually did the video shoot, Pastor Wayne he was just so dope. Like he was over there just talking to me, you know, like he was reminding me like, hey, you got it. You know, like even when I was recording the track in the studio, like and hearing him on there, I was like, bro, we could do this. And so when we shot the video, it was on the ranch. It was just so much fun. Even though it was cold and rainy, I'm talking about so much rain, like we were still out there just like giving it our all. And I think he's such a great example of like showing how to like push, you know, like to get, to make sure that the message is like getting portrayed the right way, you know, because if this gets the people of God like pumping, let's get them pumped.
When I get to heaven, a city fair and bright, there'll be no more darkness for Jesus. That's right. Oh, my way to heaven, ain't got no time to sing the blues. No. Well, 'cause since Jesus came and saved me, I've got nothing but good news. Come on, Pastor Wayne. I said I'm on my way to heaven.
Hi, I'm Rita, and I am a junior here at New Hope Christian College. I remember it was a Saturday, and I was hanging out with my cousin, and I was just going through a lot at that time, but I was finally getting back, you know, into action with serving God, going to church. And I remember just blurting out, I think I want to go to Bible college. And I was like, what? College? I was already like out of high school. I barely made it through. And so when I said that, I was like, okay, God, if this is what you want me to do, then let's do it. The next day is Sunday, we go to church, New Hope, Las Vegas. And lo and behold, Pastor Wayne is the guest speaker there. And the first thing that he does when he gets up on stage is, hey, I want to show you guys a video of the college that I'm a president at. And I looked up at the roof, I was like, God, you funny. I said, but I know and I think that this is your sign. Originally, on my application, I put down for business because I love food, and my family always talked about opening up a food truck. So I was like, let's do it. So I came here for business, and then I went to one of the jam sessions in Hunt's room, and I was telling myself that I wasn't gonna sing when I got up here. I was like, I'm not gonna do it because I just don't want to be known for that. I'm gonna get my business degree, 4 years, boom, I'm out. And then at the jam session, the Holy Spirit be moving. And then I just started singing. And from there, I started on the Devos team. And then I went to actually leading worship. Because I told God, I said, if you want me to do business, let me do business. If you want me to do creative arts, tell me to do creative arts. And I remember praying in the prayer tower in the girls' dorms. And God gave me a vision, and I was on stage. And when I looked out, I thought I was going to see a mic on a mic stand. But I actually saw a pulpit. And I said, God, me? You want me to be a pastor? Because that's the only thing that I was associated with. And then throughout, as time went on, it's like slowly but surely he was showing me that, yeah, you're gonna be a pastor girl. So I was like, my main thing that I'm really for this season is developing my pastoral skills so that I could become a worship pastor. Because if there's one thing that I would want to do for the rest of my life, it would be to worship God.
When I went to Bible college, I actually learned church planting from a professor that never planted a church, but he had a theory down. And I was taught leadership by someone who didn't do well as a leader, but had the degree, and so he was teaching. But here we have people that are those that have gone through the paces. They're practitioners. They've gone through the suffering, they have the life experience, and they have the love for students so much, the passion, that they want to teach out of their guts. They teach out of their life, not just out of their head.
My name is Shalom John. I'm a junior at New Hope Christian College, majoring in creative arts, emphasizing in tech and production. Working with Kyle has been super awesome. He's really knowledgeable for what he does, and New Hope Christian College gave us the opportunity to be able to have that one-on-one learning sessions with him. You don't usually get that anywhere outside because other universities are thousands of students where it's easier to get lost in the crowd. But over here, I got the opportunity to learn from him one-on-one and then be able to use what he taught me in an actual scenario, for example, at our church, helped me actually grow a lot because I was able to use what I learned in an actual setting.
It's really easy to have them read a book and get, paper knowledge. It's a different thing when you start plugging cables in and making sound and troubleshooting and seeing how the systems actually go together. And then in the real world, mixing live. Many ways we learn. But the hands-on, what does this knob really do? What happens when I touch this part of the screen and turn this knob? And then being able to know what things do before you need them. And that's half the battle of being engineers. If you have someone that doesn't know what every button, knob, and dial on this device is going to do before they touch it, they'll never touch it when they're in front of a live situation. So these guys here have to learn, if I do this, this is what's going to happen before they even do it.
For someone who's coming straight out of high school, what I've actually observed and learned is that you could come here with no experience, know nothing about what you're gonna do, but at the end of the day, you'll know what to do, you'll have a purpose, and you'll learn so much, so you'll go from no experience to being a master at what you do.
Having this time, one-on-one time, to be able to dive really deep into subject matter is so valuable. It's basics that they will take wherever they go. So rather than having to scratch at the basics and learn that, they already have it, and they can go deeper into serving the teams around.
When I think about education today, there's a valid reason for online courses. But one of the things I notice about discipleship and mentoring, it doesn't happen online. You don't do it at a distance. Mentoring and life change happens life on life. It happens when you can sit with someone and see their example, hear their instruction, but watch their hands and their hearts. That's what affects students the most. It's what they see, not just what they hear. And here at New Hope, we want them to be a part of life. And when you are a part of life, you get discipled. When you're discipled, you're being mentored. And when you're mentored, you become a world changer. That's what we want.
My name's Cooper Anderson, and I graduated New Hope Christian College in 2017 with a degree in Creative Arts Technology with an emphasis in film, and I am currently the Worship and Creative Director at Morning Star Community Church in Salem, Oregon. I would say that New Hope has equipped me as an individual and as a person to step into the next phases of life in an amazing way.
So Cooper is our worship and creative arts director, and that for us means a lot of different things. He is a generalist in lots of different areas. He leads worship from the stage, but he also oversees our media and our production, making sure we have a good front of house mix, and he is all over the place overseeing camera crews. He wears a lot of different hats here at Morning Star.
What I learned at New Hope equipped me for stepping into ministry. The gear that I was using didn't feel new or surprising. The situations that I was presented with were often ones that I had, talked through in a class or had discussions with professors about. I would say that it equipped me in the sense that when I stepped into things, I felt like I had a knowledge base to speak into things, whether it be in technical and music proficiency or in terms of theology and church strategy and leadership and stuff like that, which is why I liked going to New Hope so much, is because I got both. It wasn't either or, it was kind of both and, having pretty much a pastoral degree and a creative degree.
New Hope did such a great job in training Cooper how to put together a set list, plan a worship service, the theology that goes into that, and then all the technical skills as well, from knowing how things work and what equipment we need. I could tell he was trained very well at New Hope right away.
To all of the professors that shaped my life at New Hope, I would say a genuine, full-hearted thank you, because the way that you poured into me and spoke into me impacted not only me as a person in my life, but also how I do ministry and the mentality with which I show up to work, the way that I love other people, the way that I read the Bible was shaped in a large part by the people that poured into me at New Hope. And for that, I am incredibly grateful and incredibly thankful.
Here at New Hope, we really work hard at developing not only the message or what's communicated, the skills, the talents, what people see, but the messenger, the person behind that, the heart behind that, the spirit behind that, the depth, the integrity behind it, because both work like a bicycle pedaling. It's in tandem. You have to have both. David in Psalm 78 says that he shepherded the people with integrity of heart and skillfulness of hands. So we want the message to be done well, with excellence, communicated well, but the messenger to have a depth and a sincerity and an integrity. So that's why mentoring, discipleship, example are absolutely critical here at New Hope.
There are a number of things that set New Hope Christian College apart from different Bible colleges or other schools. One, I would say, is our practical experience with the church on campus, but I would also say just the heart behind what we do. Some schools overemphasize academia and underemphasize cultivating the heart and the lives of the students, and I think we marry both of those well. We want to help students to know God intimately as well as accurately.
New Hope Christian College does really focus on your being as a whole. Not only are you just another number in the college, but you're another heart that someone is trying to reach. And through our mentorship, whether it be through our life groups or devotions, or even being able to take all that we've learned and apply it to New Hope West, it's just so much opportunities to get in and dig deep and really come to the reality of yourself, but then come to the reality that this life that we have is way bigger than just us.
You can always go to school, you can always get a degree, but you can't replace character. And that's something that we really focus on here. And I feel like that's of utmost importance. Through all the experiences that we have here, it'll set you up for the rest of your life.
Anybody who just, is looking for a ministry, a place where they can feel loved, a place where they can feel like they belong, this is definitely a place for that. But it's also just a place where you're gonna learn things that you might not always learn in a classroom, but you're gonna learn things that just shape you for the rest of your life and make you into a great person.
So I've had the good pleasure and the good fortune of having some of the students come out to our ranch and work with them and spend time with them, and to see them away from the campus. And it's really been a privilege, because the quality of these young people and the heart for Jesus that they bring is just, it is profound, it is powerful, it blesses us, and we're thrilled to be able to support them here. And it just doesn't get much better than that.
Our whole experience, we were blessed during the summer to be able to have the interns over to the house twice. And they just want to spend time with you. They want to learn about who you are, how you're doing in life, how you're successful, where you haven't been successful. I had some of the ladies want to know about my marriage with husband. And they didn't want to just know the good stuff. They wanted to know, hey, how do you get through the tough times? How do you go from being this person to being wife? And how does it work? And they're just so curious. It's amazing.
Words cannot describe the students that are here. It is so absolutely amazing. The people here are so filled with the Lord's Spirit. They're serving. They do so much around here. They make sure that they're professionals. It's amazing just to see the time and the energy that is put in, from everything behind the scenes to the sound and the video to what's going on. It's just an incredible experience, and they all come together, and the family that's being formed here with the students is absolutely amazing.
The students that serve here at New Hope West are some of the most wonderful people I've ever had the opportunity to meet. The energy level that they bring forth, the love of the Lord that they have, and how they show that to everyone is just inspiring in ways that I can't even imagine and that I've never experienced before in my life. And they've made me feel like family.
The thing that impresses me so much is, in this day and age, so many, young people, they kind of get a bum rap, I think, but when you walk on this campus and you see the quality of these young people, how friendly they are, how genuine they are, how they don't shrink back, they embrace, they're so welcoming, and it's so refreshing to get to see that in these young people, and to be a part of that and to watch them grow and thrive in this environment is just amazing. It's wonderful.
I think for a lot of us, our greatest ministry is going to be in the next generation. It's not what I do, it's what others do because of what I do. That's what I see. And sometimes we think our reputation or our calling is based on just what we do. Maybe it's based on what others can do because of what you do. And you can see that in the life of Jesus. One of the very first things he did was chose 12, that they might be with them, that they would cast out demons, that they would go out and teach. And the same thing is true with us. We want to make sure that we're passing that baton on, because we're going to be here for a short amount of time. And I've got more days behind me than I do before me. And I want to make sure that I pass the baton well. You can throw a baton and pass off a profession or an employment, but the heart of that baton, you can't just toss. You have to ingrain. And that's what we're doing here at New Hope.